Being attractive nowadays is more important than ever because whether we like it or not, with online dating apps, social media, and online job applications, you often don't stand a chance to meet somebody nor get the job you want without looking attractive. Even though this may sound controversial, this is literally just the unfortunate reality, and most people will complain about unfair standards and stay stuck. This is why I want to talk about becoming attractive and how anyone, despite their age or genetics, can see first visible improvements in their appearance within 2 weeks without buying any products or trying any additional looks maxing techniques online. This works because it's built on tried and tested fundamentals, improved through years of trial and error, as well as hands on experience during my internships at top biofunctional academies and institutes, as well as contributing to research from multiple scientific studies and meeting various key professors. Now, I want you to be aware that just because I'm confronting you with these big transformations doesn't mean that you're necessarily guaranteed to get the same results. The truth is that every human being is different and has different deficiencies. We even have different ideals. But what I can tell you is that I've personally seen a lot of people achieve incredible results through these fundamentals. This, for example, is Will, who saw me transform and asked for my advice. He transformed his entire facial structure within 6 months as a result and simultaneously developed his physique, gained some extra inches in his height after the age of 18, of course, and was able to change his entire life up until the point that he literally received a job offer as a 6'3" model in Hong Kong. He texted me beforehand that he tried numerous methods like mewing, skincare products, diets like the carnivore diet, and saw zero results until he used the tried and tested fundamentals that I'm mentioning all the time. And this is Eric, who as well reversed and transformed his entire maxillary retrognathia and craniofacial dystrophy, and at the same time developed a more masculine facial structure, as well as gaining an extra 3 bloody inches of height after the age of 21 to the point where he's 6'6". He also came to me before and told me that he suffered from skin issues and a rare condition leading to his hair loss in his early 20s and tried a bunch of methods he found online, of course, without any success. So he was able to clear up his acne and simultaneously reverse his hair loss once he made use of the bloody fundamentals. And I have dozens, hundreds, and more than 3,000 transformations from people who are ready to send me their results so I can show them to you right now. If you want to see more, just have a look on my Instagram. But now I want to talk to you about how you can make use of these tried and tested fundamentals. Growing up, I was incredibly underdeveloped. I was outgrown by my peers at school. I lacked any masculine features. And honestly, I was mistaken to be a girl every single day, leading to me getting bullied and ridiculed day in, day out. And I always struggled with the fact that I wanted to improve myself, but I had no clue where to start. Social media was full of these people assuming that they had the best, newest, and most efficient method out there to become more attractive. Mewing, jawline gum, carnivore, zinc pills, push-pull legs. The list goes bloody on. But no matter how much effort I put into it, I got no results except an asymmetrical jawline caused by the bloody jawline gum itself. That put me into an endless loop, assuming that I was literally just cursed by my genetics or I didn't have enough discipline to stick to any of these influencers' methods for long enough. The problem was neither. It was actually just that I never understood what the fundamentals were that make somebody attractive and, more importantly, that make somebody confident. But rather, I spread myself too thin on all the methods and products out there, which weren't meant to help me, but were literally meant to keep me buying. This was me around 2 years ago, before I started focusing on the fundamentals. This was me literally just a couple of months later, and now this is me today. And now I will explain to you in 5 simple steps how these fundamentals that I keep harping on about actually work and what to start with. Here we go. What trait makes somebody actually attractive? I'm sure that you've noticed that one person who looks effortlessly attractive without even trying. Meanwhile, there are other guys who spend hours of their day, if not hundreds of dollars, buying every product but still look off. Most people think attractiveness is about luck, genetics, or isolated features like height or a sharp jawline, but that is literally not the truth. A developed facial structure can be attractive, but there's something deeper underneath that makes people feel respect or attraction towards someone. If looks were just about features, then plastic surgery would instantly make people attractive. But it doesn't, because the human brain isn't looking for an attractive person. It is looking for biological fitness. In 2014, a study from the British Psychological Society found that the CEOs of the leading UK businesses have greater facial width. We demonstrate that the perceivers rate the faces of CEOs as higher in dominance or success, and the ratings of dominance or success are themselves correlated with facial width, or that the firms whose male CEOs have wider faces relative to facial height achieve superior financial performance, which is caused by better decision-making dynamics within a firm's leadership. which basically means that the CEOs with the wider facial structure are not only perceived as more dominant and successful, but actually end up being more dominant and successful because their team trusts their decision making more. Why? Because those traits signal competence and leadership, making them more likely to succeed in life. So, therefore, attractive men look better because they are scientifically more likely to be seen as leaders, get hired, and make more money because attractiveness is a biological sign that a man is healthier, more capable, and more dominant. In fact, a study in scientific reports on young men found that a good immune system leads to higher attractiveness. The authors wrote, "We show that men with a stronger stress response are considered significantly more attractive and healthy. Men with more masculine, heavier facial features appear significantly healthier and more attractive. Men with proper posture, chewing and swallowing and breathing habits develop a better symmetrical facial structure, whilst unhealthy posture, mouth breathing, and inflammation cause maxillary retrognathia, a common condition that 98% of people nowadays have, causing a weak jaw, weak chin, and facial asymmetry. Men with high stress and therefore higher cortisol experience more fat retention, weaker bones, hair loss, and premature wrinkles, whilst low inflammation and balanced hormones causes a sharper jawline and clearer skin. The stronger your health, the more attractive and the more respected you become. What I'm trying to say is being attractive is not about the traits, but attractiveness serves as nothing but a biomarker, proving that a human being is healthy and therefore also more capable. We as human beings are hardwired to pick the healthiest mate and respect the most capable men. So it is not about the jawline, the clear skin, or the toned physique that are going to make you attractive, but it is the root cause that leads to all of these traits, your health. If you are healthy, people will perceive you as more attractive and therefore they are attracted to you. So in order to be attractive, it is not about your genetics, products, or techniques that fix external symptoms of an unhealthy lifestyle, but the issue is the root cause of these symptoms. It is the unhealthy lifestyle itself. Which brings me to my second point, which is, why do most people get stuck and never become attractive in the first place? Because today's beauty and health industry has transformed from natural remedies and holistic wellness to an $85 billion industry of synthetic drugs, centralized licenses, and corporate influence that has decimated the health of an entire generation. And if you don't believe me, just look at who owns the industry. You'd assume you're buying from different companies, but when you look deeper, you realize that the same corporations that sell you processed food also sell you the skincare to fix the damage caused by the processed food. Nestle, who owns Smarties, Kit Kat, Nerds, and a bunch of soft drinks, also owns L'Oreal, Garnier, and Maybelline. So the same corporations pushing processed foods that decimate your skin health profit from the medications people need to fix the skin health that they decimated. The reality is the entire industry is designed to keep you dependent on solutions that don't actually work. You see, the average American absorbs 112 harmful chemicals per day from personal care products. Many of the products marketed as health and hygiene contain ingredients that actively hurt you over time. BPA in plastic packaging lowers testosterone, making men weaker, fatter, and less masculine. Phthalates in soap and fragrances increase obesity rates and contribute to hormonal imbalances. Even acne creams contain benzene, a harmful chemical that damages skin instead of healing it. Just look at this data sheet indicating that there are 1,175 chemicals in fragrances indicated as warning and 190 indicated as danger. So the question is, why does nobody monitor this? The FDA, which is supposed to monitor the beauty and health industry, is not only funded over 60% by pharmaceutical companies, but also consists of board directors of these pharmaceutical companies. That was also confirmed by the National Center of Biotechnology Information when they analyzed the Advisors Committee of US American Dietary Guidelines and found that 95% of the advisors had a conflict of interest, which means they are either funded by big corporate companies from the food industry or members of the advisory or executive boards of these companies. I mean, even researchers from the University of Oxford and the University of Bocconi in Milan, Italy, read through 18,000 emails to find out that Coca-Cola funded a non-profit organization called the Global Energy Balance Network and funded them $1.5 million to skew the result of a study to downplay the link between sugar and obesity, and instead blame American citizens that they just didn't do enough exercise. And by the way, this isn't just in America. And also, this isn't a mistake. This is a system designed to keep you sick, weak, and dependent. And if you don't break free from it, you'll keep wasting time on methods that were never meant to work. And this is where most people fail. They assume that they don't see results because they lack an additional product or an additional method. But they do not realize that the same people who sell you the unhealthy lifestyle sell you products to battle the symptoms of the unhealthy lifestyle. And the worst part, every failed product makes them more insecure. Instead of fixing their health, they keep getting distracted by temporary fixes that never actually work. They blame their genetics instead of realizing that your body is not broken, it is just trapped in an unhealthy environment. If you fix the inputs, your body naturally becomes more attractive over time. So, what are the fundamentals that fix your health so that you can naturally become attractive? The truth is, in order to improve, it is not so much about what you add, but more about what you remove. People keep adding things and end up in an hour-long routine that nobody could follow in the first place. In fact, there are only 5 things to fix your health. And these are the 20% that get you 80% of the results. And the first thing is to fix your nutrition. Most men today grow up with soft, bloated faces, weak jawlines, and bad skin because they eat the wrong foods. Remove seed oils, remove processed carbs that are found in almost every processed food and cause chronic inflammation, leading to a puffy face, acne, and premature aging, and replace this with whole, dense nutrition. If it comes in a package, it is probably bad for you. Second of all, you need to fix the 4 key habits that cause 98% of men to suffer from maxillary retrognathia, an undeveloped chin, jaw, and bone structure. Fix your chewing, breathing, swallowing, and posture, and over time, this reshapes your jawline, improves facial asymmetry, and makes you appear stronger and more dominant. So again, do not add, replace. Third of all, fix your sleep and hormonal imbalance. Your skin quality, jawline definition, and eye area are all directly affected by sleep and hormones, so much so that one bad night of sleep, which is less than 4 hours, weakens your immune system by 400%, which means you are 4 times more likely to become sick, making it harder to recover and develop your physique or facial structure. Additionally, your testosterone levels crash, leading to a weaker jawline, softer features, and more body fat. Therefore, fix your circadian rhythm. Wake up and go to bed at the same time daily. Get 7 to 9 hours of sleep and block blue light right before going to bed with red light glasses. The fourth pillar is the only thing you should add, which is to train for functional strength and lower body fat. For a more masculine look, train at least 3 to 4 times per week and focus on your neck and traps. A weak neck is what creates forward head posture, which causes a receding jawline, a receding chin, and leads to maxillary retrognathia, where your jaw literally blends into your face no matter how many jawline enhancing exercises you follow on a daily basis. Aim to lower your body fat to 10 to 15%. This makes your jawline and facial structure sharper instantly and is also healthier for your testosterone levels anyway. And the fifth and most important pillar is to eliminate the mouse traps that are keeping you weak and unattractive. I understand this isn't the sexiest look smacking trick you've seen, and I don't have a magic pill that can change your life in a few days, but you cannot fix your appearance if you are still consuming the things that are destroying your health. So avoid any skincare products with endocrine disruptors that weaken your hormones. Avoid plastic packaging that contains BPA, lowering your testosterone. Personal hygiene products that are filled with toxic fragrances and preservatives that damage your skin barrier. Pharma-backed supplements that are unnecessary and loaded with synthetic fillers. Instead, simplify everything. Avoid unnecessary products and processed ingredients. Use natural skincare, tallow-based organic oils, or even nothing at all. Avoid plastics and endocrine disruptors. Use glass containers. Avoid canned foods and filter your water. Cut out artificial supplements. Focus on real food for nutrients. So again, this isn't about building a long routine to fix things. This is about getting your health in check, so you don't only look the best way possible, but also feel the best way possible. You are meant to be a certain person. You are just taking the steps to become the person you were always meant to be. Attractiveness is not a trick, a trend, or something you can fake long term. It is a biological response to how well you take care of your body. Once you fix these 5 fundamentals, your body will naturally optimize itself. Your jawline will become more defined, your skin will be clear, your posture will improve, and your presence will change. This isn't a hack. This is how your body is supposed to develop naturally. It is how we developed hundreds of thousands of years ago when we were at the peak of our species. Now that you understand what actually makes a man attractive and why most men never get there, let's talk about how to actually apply this and get results without wasting years trying to figure it out all on your own. Now, you have 3 options. You can either act as if you never saw this video and continue to live life like the way you did before. You can take the knowledge I gave you and try and go through the trial and tribulation on your own, or you can let me help you skip that part. Now, This may sound like I'm trying to sell you some 997 program that'll change your life in a couple of days, but that's just not the case. I wish I could do that, but I literally can't. I'm talking about long-term results that actually last. The biggest problem most people struggle with when they try to tackle their unhealthy lifestyle is that they struggle to filter through the endless information online, which, as I've shown you before, is mostly corrupt, faked, or financed by big pharmaceutical corporate companies. And because of the skewed information online, I needed to go through years of trial and error to filter through all the BS that was out there until I was left with the essentials that actually worked. I then applied these on my friends, and the results were obviously incredible. But I still suffered from limiting beliefs and kind of just chalked it up to the fact that maybe it was, some good genetics or puberty. So I took on some clients in their mid 20s, like Louis, who hopped on a call with me and told me he struggles with time because he is working all day. And when I told him we didn't need to add things to his day, but rather change things and remove things, we went into the details and the results speak for themselves. And after helping a dozen people fix their health to improve their looks, I figured out what most people struggled with and put all of the knowledge into a program which is available in my community, which is literally just called Oscar's Community because I couldn't really figure out a name for it. But I built the community for men who are tired of wasting their time and energy on endless routines that don't work in the first place and who have already tried the most common solutions like diets, exercise, and mewing, but didn't get results because they just didn't know how to filter for the 20% that would get them 80% of the results. Unlike other communities, which focuses on looks alone, in my community, we only focus on what really matters: health. This way, you only have to focus on the tried and tested essentials that 1,700 community members already got incredible results from. Instead of having to go through endless products and routines that don't even work, the program inside the community includes modules on health foundations, diet, recipes, functional exercise for the gym, a blueprint on how to fix and recorrect your hormones, a blueprint on the 4 core myofunctional habits of chewing, breathing, posture, and swallowing, plus a full step-by-step guide on thumb pulling, and additionally, a module breaking down all essential techniques to get a developed facial structure, plus a 30-day starters blueprint guide, and much, much more. And I backed all that information up with studies inside our studies library. Ivan, for example, toned his physique and developed more masculine facial features with these modules all in a few weeks because he raised his testosterone all through the hormones blueprint and focused on fixing the 5 fundamentals. Or Fred, who took part in one of our client retreats in Florida and is actually in our latest vlog. He literally texted me before joining me, tried all of the standard things: hair care products, skincare products, mewing, push-pull legs, and it wouldn't work on him because he accepted his genetics were simply cooked. Do I even need to explain that transformation? Everything changed within 4 months of putting his head down. Now, I want you to understand that I can show you thousands of these results, but just because you have come across to the same fundamental knowledge as they did, that doesn't mean that you will get the exact same results. Because at the end of the day, every human being is different and has different deficiencies, different genetics, and different challenges to handle on a day-to-day. Which is why every member has one-on-one DM access to me, where I can answer all of the questions you may have to find the missing pieces to your puzzle. And if that's not enough, I host 2 weekly Q&A calls together with Fred, yes, the exact same guy I just mentioned before, who today is mentoring others inside the community. And we answer all the questions you may have so we can build out your own custom plan. And that's the cool thing about this community. Fred may be an extreme example, but the reason we made it a community and not a course is because in order to follow through with the protocols, you should have people around you who keep pushing you and all want to achieve the exact same thing as you. And they may even be ahead of you. Because if everybody around you is putting their head down and pushing you to win, including me, you simply cannot lose. And at the end of the day, what we do isn't normal. And most people fail because they don't have the right people around them who support a healthy lifestyle. And they'll probably call you out for changing or not being normal, which is completely fair because nowadays being normal means being unhealthy, obese, diabetic, suffering from low testosterone, and much more that does you no good. So it is good to have these people around you and link up with them. Now, if I could give you all of that for $39 a month, would you at least consider it? If yes, there is a link in the description which will lead you to the School About page where you can get even more information and make a reasoned decision from there. Now, I want to be completely honest with you. The more people that join the community, the more work I have because I'll need to answer DMs and I'm constantly increasing the value of the community itself. We just added a couple of new modules on how to increase your height naturally, for example, and that is why I will need to raise the price of the community to $54 a month soon. And that will just depend on how many people actually join the community. The more value I add, the more value I will ask for in return. But if you lock in the $39 a month price now, you will keep that one forever. Before, I told you you had three options: leave, try on your own, or let me help you. Most men would leave and keep searching for the next hack that never works. They'll waste years of trial and error when they could be seeing results in weeks. But you didn't leave. So obviously, you want to improve yourself now. I give you two choices instead of three. Firstly, you can keep trying random things that don't work and stay stuck, or you can join a community that already has 1,700 plus members transforming their looks and lives. So, if that is of any interest to you, click the link in the description and I'll see you on our next live Q&A call. Stop being absolutely cooked. By the way, if you have any questions, just send me a DM on Instagram and I'll get back to you. Peace.